how do I stop perimenopause weight gain? Hey, friends. One of the questions that I get all the time is how do I stop perimenopause weight gain? So this is a huge question because women start to gain weight for apparently no reason. Well, it feels like no reason. And I think that this is something that's really worth talking about. And whether or not weight loss is your goal, it helps to know what's going on so that you can help to kind of recalibrate and get everything back on track. So why is it that women just are stuck with this weight gain? Why is it that we're destined to put on, I don't know, I think the average is five to 10 pounds, something like that, during your perimenopause journey? Okay, so why is this happening? Why are we gaining weight? Well, for one thing, the fluctuating and eventual decrease of your reproductive hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, are kind of driving this. Your body wants to start to store fat because fat means survival. Fat is energy. We need energy to, if we get sick, we need energy to get through our days. So your body sees any loss of fat as kind of a threat and will then do everything possible to retain that fat or that energy. So the combination of all of these fluctuating hormones, which keep everything humming along and happy, and increased fat storage for later use, decreased metabolism, so your metabolism slows way down, you start to lose muscle mass. The benefit of having some testosterone and estrogen is that your metabolism is higher, so that starts to decline. And then just basic hormone imbalance. So I'm not just talking about the reproductive hormones, I'm also talking about the way that you use fat, your metabolism, the way you store fat, and all of that. And a lot of that can be boiled down to insulin resistance. So women over 40 are at an increased risk of insulin resistance, which means that your blood sugars go crazy, your fat storage mechanisms are all over the place, and the result that we see of insulin resistance is increased weight. So that's no bueno, right? So why doesn't dieting work? Well, for one thing, when you go on a diet, you actually end up eating a little bit more. That's something that we don't always realize. But you start to restrict food, and then you get hungry later on. You're cutting things out that you need. It gets really hard to maintain a nourishing and balanced eating pattern. So the more you restrict, quite honestly, the more you're going to gain. Okay, so you don't really want to know all of the mechanisms behind all of this. You really just want to know, how do you lose weight when your estrogen isn't there to help? So it's actually more simple than you might think. You have to crank up your metabolism somehow, and I'm going to tell you how. You need to nourish your body, and I'm going to tell you that too. You need to balance your hormones, and it's more than just the reproductive hormones, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone. It's more than those. It's insulin, it's cortisol, it's thyroid, all of these hormones. It's your hunger hormones that play a big role. And you need to eat the right foods. And that goes beyond just nourishing, but eating the foods that are going to keep you full on less energy, right? Fewer calories. Eating food that's going to give you the nutrition that you need to boost your metabolism. So this is really what you really need to know. And today we're going to talk about one way of eating, today we're going to talk about the most prescribed method for how you balance out your diet, the way that you eat, so that you can boost your metabolism, stop fat storage, balance your hormones, and nourish your body. It's not as complicated as it might seem. And if you do this every time you eat, or most of the times that you eat, you're going to notice that it's effortless weight loss. If your body doesn't need to lose weight, you might notice that your weight levels out, right? So some of us need to actually gain weight. when you're eating the right foods, when you're eating and nourishing your body and providing the nutrition that your body needs, it's going to level out. All right, so there's something to be said for balancing out portions and all of that, for making sure you're not getting too much energy. But when you're eating in this pattern, it's going to be a lot easier. Your hunger hormones are going to be more in line. You're going to feel satisfied with less. You're going to have energy, and you're going to see a lot of other of your perimenopause symptoms start to dissipate as well. Not as many hot flashes. You'll be sleeping a little bit better. Mood swings are going to level out. That brain fog that drives me absolutely crazy, that levels out as well. So what are you going to do? How are you going to eat so that you can balance all that out? You're going to eat a PFF meal plan. So that's protein, healthy fat, and fiber. So it's super easy to remember. P for protein, F for fiber, F for healthy fat. And if you do this at every meal or most of the time, you're going to notice that things are going to level out for you. You're going to notice weight loss. You're going to notice more energy. You're going to notice that you just feel better. And it's super easy to plan your meals around this. Okay, so most of your meals are, or most of the foods that we eat have a combination, right? So hardly any food is all of one thing. So, think about eggs. Eggs are mostly protein, but they also have fat in them. Quinoa has fat, fiber, and protein, and it's even the healthy fat. So every time you eat, you want to make sure that you have these foods represented. Keep in mind that some foods are none of these things. So for example, donuts. Donuts are none of those things. They are not healthy fat. They may have some protein in there, but that would be rare. And the fiber is non-existent in a donut. So the things that don't have the protein, fat, and fiber, you can still eat those, just eat those less often. All right, so how does this work? You're going to, every time you eat, you're going to try to represent those items, the protein, the healthy fat, and the fiber. This is something that we do every day in the Perimenopause Society membership. We talk about, how to build the awareness around noticing when you're not eating this way, how to actually put this into practice. What does it look like when it's on your plate? I help you. I'm right there looking at your meal plans with you, helping you develop them, looking at your food journals to see what you're doing and where we can improve. I'm there to talk it out with you when you're really struggling through all this. So the Perimenopause Society is a membership that grows with you as you move through the beginning stages all the way through the end. It's there. I'm there to support you. It's like having a dietitian in your back pocket. So remember, your takeaway for today is that if you only do one thing to have the biggest difference in your overall lifestyle, it's to start eating protein, healthy fat, and fiber most of the time. I hope this really helps you guys. If you want to learn more about the Perimenopause Society, membership is open for a limited time or a number of spaces, whichever comes first. It's appropriate for you if you are in any stage of this journey from 38 to 68 and beyond. We're learning how to nourish mindfully, how to move with intention. I use a lot of yoga here, how to have self-care with purpose, and how to keep those hormones balanced. If you don't have the reproductive hormones anymore, or if you're on HRT or bioidentical HRT, it's okay, because there are other hormones that are really important even during this time. All right, my friends, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Remember, protein, fat, and fiber. Head on over to the Facebook group and watch the replays of the workshops that I did live this week. If you have any questions, send me a DM or an email. I'm happy to answer them for you. All right, ladies, that's all I have for you. I will see you next time.